me.
Generals gathered in their masses.
Get out of the way.
Hello and welcome to Office Hours with Amber. I am Amber and this is Office Hours. You might notice by the name of this video that I am not in a super duper awesome delicious place. Not really, like I'm fine. It's the weird part of like, hello and welcome to, okay, audio's up, we're good. Here's the situation. So, you know when you can feel... All right, I'm gonna preface this. There's two kinds of systems I have in my brain. There's kind of like the personal motivational systems, and then there's business systems. So as a business systems engineer, most all of the systems I create for how data works together, how machines work together, how process works between people at work, that's not a big issue. Those live on way past me. The human part of the systems, the motivational systems and like the self-improvement and how to describe, like my personal motivational systems break every 2 years. And I think anyone with ADHD has a similar cycle, or maybe every 6 months, or there's kind of, I usually will toggle between paper to-do lists and physical to-do list, or like a physical to-do list versus digital versus backlogs versus like every 6 to 18 months, I start getting the itch and that's just not working anymore. And thankfully with Engineering Improv, this is now my system to get working through my backlog, which is delicious. And we love that. And that is new. And I really am enjoying each week spinning the wheel and pulling something out of the backlog. However, this week we've got something a little bit more pressing. And really, improv and spinning the wheel is usually when there's a lack of things that have clear priority. So this week we have some very clear priorities because some very serious personal development and habit tracking systems are down. And so if you guys are unfamiliar, actually, before we even get into this week's topic, last week's topic was I was trying to look for a way to solve two of my biggest problems. And when it comes to client acquisition or people wanting to use my consulting services for Excel, process improvement, ADHD, whatever, a lot of times people won't reach out to me about getting help with those specific things because they think I'm too busy, or there's this perception and error that I'm always too busy. And I'm like, oh no, I have time for you. And other than me saying I have time for you all the time, which is not true, I want to give people access to a Calendly or a Acuity or something like that so that people know when they can, like when my consulting hours are, so that they don't have to like question, like, am I bugging her? Because you're never bugging me. I'm here to help. But yeah, so last week my goal was I was trying to solve too many things at the same time. I wanted a consulting portal where clients could buy tokens and do this and do that. We got to start with baby steps. So I took the path of least resistance. I set up my Calendly and I'm almost completely set up. So I at least made some very drastic steps forward in that. Connected it to all my calendars so that when I have meetings, it doesn't double book me, which is really important. And it has like a payment feature, so it'll go directly to PayPal, so there's no invoicing mess. And before I launch that, I want to make sure that there's a feedback section. So after people have their consulting hour with me, they then can fill out the feedback. And then if something sucks, I'd like to know about it. Or if something's great, then I can get testimonials from that. So I am very close to that being completed, which is nice. It is a step forward, which I'm so happy about, even though I don't sound thrilled. Yeah. So anyways, that was last week. This week, some very important things happened. And there's like a theme lately of the thing I'm crashing out about is not the thing I'm actually crashing out about. And when your stress and tension is bubbling up in like your Dixie cup of problems is overflowing, Whatever is the last thing, last problem, the last drop to be put on that Dixie cup is what makes it spill over. But that's not really what caused the whole cup to spill over. For instance, I had insomnia cookies delivered to my house, and I posted a TikTok about this, and it was just so stupid. But I've already, like, everything is just a little itchy right now. Every process, every conversation, everything is just something's just up in the universe. So, and I know I'm talking in circles, but anyway, so I ordered insomnia cookies at like a normal hour for insomnia. It was 9 p.m. It wasn't like 2 a.m. So let's relax. And this is not a narrative about delivery drivers. This is a narrative about crashing out for the wrong reasons. It's hard to get to my apartment, so I leave really detailed instructions of go over this, see this, turn there, I'm here. And I never have them leave it at the door because I will meet them at the street because I already know it's difficult, whatever. And every time I have to watch them zoom past my house because Google, even if you put the little location in and like the pin and you drag it to very specifically, doesn't comprehend. That's fine. I'm good. I'm sitting outside. It's freezing. That's fine. I'm cool. I ordered a pint, like a chocolate milk, and a cookie because I was sensitive. This has a point, I swear. He then goes to hand me just the box that has the cookie in it. And I go, is there more? He goes, oh, yeah. And then he grabs a bag, but the bag is not the thickness of a pint. And big back girl here knows what the thickness of a pint is. So I'm like, and that's it? Now, should I have asked, hey, where's the pint? Or rather, the question I actually asked was, and the pint's in here? And we both kind of looked at the bag and he goes, yep. And he was 10 toes down, full chest, confident there was a pint in there. So I was like, all right. So I start digging in the bag. Guess what's not in there? The pint. So then he was like, then he starts digging through his bag. He's like, oh, sorry, here it is. If you are not confident that it's in there, then don't act like you are. And that's the thing. Oh, Insomnia Cookies is so good. It's like late night delivery of cookies here in Kalamazoo. I don't know if they have them. I feel like it's a chain. It can't be just here. But anyways, they do like fresh baked cookie delivery and it's just so delicious and good. But anyways, and that's the thing is if everything else in my life was going cool, me having to stand up for myself to make sure that I get what I ordered, it was every little bit of it's like ChatGPT. Yeah, exactly. Where you're being told, yep. And then you ask again, like, are you sure? And then they go, uh-huh. And it's like, no, you're not. Like, literally, you're not. And like, let's use logic for like 1 minute. And that's where I was. So I came back inside and and it's the thing about ADHD is there's all of the, this is the actual answer now. And then you like then you finally call it out and it's like, oh, you know what? You're right. Bah, gotcha. And it's like, God damn it. Anyways, so I think there's just so much of my history where I've not been believed because I'm too emotional or I'm too this or I'm too that. And so I've leaned into data and research and logic and all of this stuff. And so to finally get this far in life and like have to, like, I'm just so tired of having to justify every single decision of every single thought of every single logic. And it's just so exhausting. And it's like, I just wanted cookies. Like, let me live, dude. But we're fine. What I'm saying is I was already over my threshold for bullshit last week and like things are fine. Like life's going pretty okay. Now, the state of the universe and like the world right now, maybe that's what's leaking in, but whatever. I've had ADHD tools. So 2 of my favorite phone application habit tracking and like ADHD helpers like distract, like Opal and Finch are my favorite apps. And Finch is basically this little bird and it's like Duolingo. You have streaks that you can track your moods, you can track reflections, you get like there's no in-app purchases except for the subscription, like, and it's like $20 a year, like so worth it. And there's so much data and so much cute, like it's really gamifying self-care. So when I say that I have in my past been a depressed girl where brushing my teeth daily is a real struggle, this got me to make my bed 400 days in a row. Do you know how monumental of a task that is for someone with chronic ADHD? So it comes to Saturday, and again, I'm on like day 402, and I'm excited. And so I'm going to do my tasks. I'm excited to check things off. It like dings and vibrates and does all this stuff. And then I get this message of, oh, sorry, something went wrong. Your stuff's corrupted. So nice thing is they make you save off like the backup files. And I was like, okay, sure. So I go to put the backup file in. It works for like 30 minutes. I come back, corrupted again. And I go, and there's this weird phenomenon of a chronic part of like it already was so difficult to initiate that task to get started. And so when there's moments of rework and moments of waiting, that becomes huge ADHD distraction time, because then it's like, okay, come back in 30 minutes, and then you wait, and then you have to restart. And like that makes it damn near impossible to do the thing. I know corruption should be illegal. And the thing is so I posted that on TikTok, and the Finch team reached out and they said, hey, email this to support it, whatever. But what I realized is, Insomnia cookies in the chat. No, Insomnia, I didn't at them directly because I didn't want that driver to like, it's, you know what I mean? It wasn't about the driver. It was about, yeah. Anyways, so the thing about the Finch bird is, yeah, I could go through and get them to reset my account and fix it and that stuff. But what I'm recognizing is even before the corrupt file, I was already going through the motions, and I was already not actually respecting and honoring the like stretch goals that I was putting out for me. So like, I think what this is and why I'm so upset about it is because it was finally the last straw breaking. And I was like, so anyways, we're going to be looking for new ways to habit and task track. Because what I found with Finch is that it's really good at self-care tasks, and I could add work tasks to it, but I wasn't very good at like interconnecting them all together. And there's no desktop application for, Finch anyway. So what I'm recognizing is that my systems were at the end of their expiration, which is so tough because with ADHD, to find something that works is so hard. To find something valuable and novel and not annoying and fits into your rhythm, and it doesn't have a lot of clunky garbage to it. And it's like to finally find something that's working 400 days in a row, to be clear. And then deep breath. You know what I mean? Like, and so it's just a disappointing moment of like, you finally, especially as like intellectual adult women with ADHD, is like, we finally cracked the code. We're finally there. I finally fit this neurotypical structured world, and I've got it. And then it's like, just frustrating, you know? The code cracked me. That's for sure. So today is about exploration, and it's actually quite exciting. To be crying about a bird is really silly. I mean, well, we have banjo. All right, I'm gonna gather myself, and then we're gonna be off to the races. Okay, we're back. Quick repeat. First of all, this is silly and we're past it. So the nice thing about 400, oh, it'll come back. It'll come back. You'll hear me. Okay, we're back. The tough part is there's like a minute and a half lag. Anyways, so what you missed while I was muted, which we are good. So in the last 400 days, because Banjo's also super upset that everyone and their mother is outside enjoying the nice weather. So there's all sorts of new noises that we are upset with. Anyways, I digress. The cool thing about 400 days is that so much technologically has advanced in the last year or so. So I have not looked around at any task or habit managers in a while. So the cool part about today is that I'm excited about the exploration and experimentation with these new tools, and looking at all the new things. There's a few that I've been preliminarily looking at, especially based on, there's a girl on YouTube that I think she's called like How to ADHD or so, ADHD Brains or something like that. I love her videos and she keeps it pretty real. And so she suggested a few different applications, but I'm kind of scoping out, like, today I'm excited. So although it was a necessary break in the system for ADHD management, today's a new day. So it's exciting. I think the problem is like Airtable, I wish it would just, I wish I could design an interface well enough. Exactly. Ashley, exactly that girl. I wish I could design an interface that was engaging enough that I would want to use it. And maybe I might, like, my backup plan is going back to that, or we might go all the way back to Excel. Like, and I think sometimes because Excel is hard to use on the phone, I like avoid it for things like this. But I think some of the kind of requirements that I'm looking through today, and there's a few different subcategories of words that I'm thinking through. So habit management or habit and task management I see as different. So habit management I would see as like self-care tasks, like brush your teeth, get out of bed, go to work, do the laundry on Sundays, like recurring tasks, scheduled recurring self-care, house management, pay your bills, that stuff. That's what I would call habit management. Then there's task management, which I would more consider to be like work, hobby, and growth related. And those would all be categorized through project and category management, which is a lot of big words just to say, like I want all three of those things to happen in the same place, because what I'm recognizing is the nice thing that's consistent among all of everything that I ever do is that I'm really solidly good at using my calendar and Outlook and using like time blocking. Not consistently the best at actually honoring and respecting the time blocks, but especially for being able to start the week with a plan and keep my anxiety under, like, less overwhelmed, and at least knowing when I'm busy and when I'm not. Like, that has been really that's insanely helpful. So whatever task management thing that I have, I want it to be able to handle personal, professional, and hobby. And also, side note, Emily, if you're still here, is there's this thing, I think you kind of mentioned, the level 10 life. And so I coupled that with the idea of, there was the guy that made the big ass calendar, and I'll share my screen. Yeah. Oh, Ashley, side note is I don't like the monthly fees of Softer, but the interface ability is actually way, 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 way better. It's tough for like individual users because for scalability of client portals, I think Softer is really great. For individual users, I can't justify the cost of it, but their interfaceability has way more functionality. And so I've been looking for something similar, but just good for like the one-off. And that's where I'm also looking into Xtiles and Notion. I know. I don't want to go to Notion because it just feels icky and not it yet, like for me. But anyways, okay. So there's this guy, Jesse Itzler, and his wife is the creator of Spanx. So they're a power couple, but he made this like thing called the Big Ass Calendar, and I love it. Basically, it's got every month and it has all the weekends, and you can plan out your entire year of like when all the subcompartments of your life you're going to like travel and go toward like invest in family time or do like a project at the house or whatever. And it's like looking at your whole year, 365 days, just like that. You can't like off put it, and like you can't like when you're looking in Outlook at the next 3 months, you're only seeing a quarter. So what's nice about this is you can kind of start to plan out your entire year to make sure that you're not leaving yourself in the dust. So anyways, there's this idea of the big ass calendar, and then there's the big ass planner he made. Similar. And one of the pages has the I feel like I saw it. He did a video on it. And it's got a whiteboard in the back, which I really love. But you have the similar little calendar. But there's a section where it's basically talking about like the 8 sections of life. So I have decided on my 8 sections of life. So, and it kind of falls into 4. So there's self, systems, spark, and squad. So self being mental and physical health, or like well-being. Systems are financial and business. Spark is my pursuit of creative wonder. And also the spark is interacting with people who inspire me. And then squad is kind of leaning into my friends and family, and then people who I inspire or give mentorship towards, or like my kind of community service, if you will. So these are the categories that I want to be able to like use in my task and habit manager. And I feel like for Airtable, it's good, but I feel like because it toes the line of it doesn't quite do what I want it to. Like, I'm just not designing it well enough to make it fun on my phone. Or at least the phone interfaces just kind of stink. Like the using them online, or like on my computer, love. So today I'm going to be looking into kind of habit tracking management, whatever. So the other thing about that is, I'm this close to going fully analog again, but I know in a month I'm going to want to rebuild it. So I know that paper isn't it, but I know the paper might be it for like the day to day. And so that's what I also want to be able to toggle between, is planning out day to day, week to week, month to month, and backlog and recurring. So like those are like the key components of time that I want to be able to like include, because I've found there's some that are really good at like if you do, there's an app on your phone, Reminders, I think. Reminders. Yeah, there's a Reminders app, and I think you can make it so that they recur. Maybe. You can't. Well, you could kind of, but not really. So like that's a weird functionality that I realized that I need, because if I have to set up when I'm doing laundry every month, so I want to be able to like set up something really nice, and then I think the gamification of it, I don't really think I need to gamify it. I think I just need it to be pretty. Or like aesthetic, or like clean and sharp. And I think it's good that I'm going in with that novelty at the beginning. So anyways, I'm going to just start Googling stuff. What I encourage is, if you have any ADHD management or task management, habit management tips, tools, things you like using, whatever, feel free to throw ideas, links, and whatever in the chat. But yeah, I would love to know what you guys are working on this week. But other than that, I'm just going to start Googling stuff. all I have. ADHD, habit, task management, tools. There's untapped potential in shortcuts. iPhone. Starting to look into that. Ooh, yeah. One of my favorite shortcuts is the geolocating one. Good notes. I love good notes. So I'm horrible at time tracking. So when I was working more at the warehouse, I would have my phone automate a note. So whenever I would arrive or leave from the warehouse, let's see. Yeah, whenever I would like arrive or leave at the warehouse, it logs when I come and go, which I love because I cannot be bothered to automations, shortcuts. Yeah, there are some good shortcuts in there. Using monthly whiteboard forever. I think I need to get a bigger whiteboard and actually put like my to-do list, like kind of, I think I need better ritual of like every morning looking at the task list, what's up for the day, writing it on the board, and kind of getting the tactile of like wiping things off the list. And that comes back to the idea of, I think 2 weeks ago we were talking about goals versus projects versus tasks, and I'm really good at assigning myself projects but not tasks, and so breaking those big tasks into smaller tasks. And the nice thing is a lot of what I was seeing in the apps that I was downloading yesterday is some of them have the AI task breakdown stuff in them. I'm not here or there about AI in the middle of task management. I'm neither here nor there. But the one that I'm kind of interested in is there's one named Timo. It has a desktop application. It was voted the like Apple app of the year or whatever. Let me see if I could pull it up. TIIMO. And it's like made by people with ADHD or like neurodivergence, which is nice. Let's see if I logged in with the right account. And I think next week on, what was my email? Okay, it was the other one. Next week I'm going to be doing one of the projects I want to do is I want to make like either lambdas or an OA robot command for depersonalization of data or like confidentiality scrambling of like removing people's names, address, like removing. And I just did a HIPAA training and it was talking about like depersonalization of data. And so I want to make something that will like basically gut the data, but sometimes it's nice to be able to repersonalize it after you've done all the manipulation. So because I'm going to be doing a lot of live streaming and I want to be able to make sure anyone who submits an Excel sheet knows that I'm not just putting their data out in the universe. And I kind of want to help so people can depersonalize their data before it comes to me. Next week I want to start making code to like scramble data or like not encrypt it, but like kind of like changing it from like Amber, Donna, Ashley, Emily to user 1, user 2, user 3, user 4, like completely like creating anonymity. Anyways. And I just got a text from Emily. Ooh. I like that. Is it okay if Emily, put a thumbs up if I can show the picture? Maybe I'll text you. She's got basically this whiteboard that's got all the days of the week, and then different. I like that the magnets themselves have like you can rewrite on them, and I'm guessing that has something to do with priority. Um, oh, nice. Okay, so it's kind of cool how there we go. She's got different magnets that you can also write on, and I'm guessing that has something to do with it's got something to do with the priority, but that's nice. Ooh. Did you buy the magnets or did you print those? I think I need a bigger whiteboard. Client color. Oh, that makes sense. Obfuscating. Obfuscating. Yes, Eric, if we could potentially work, if I could see that robot command for obfuscating, that would be really nice. Because then I could actually show some of the tools that I'm working on. Anyways. Okay, that's not logging me in, so I'm gonna keep moving forward. They're P-touch tape on magnet strips. Ooh. One moment. I set up an account. You know when you set up an account with Apple versus like your email? And so then you start to, I'm annoyed. You start setting up an account with your email, or like you set it up with your email, but then you try to go log in with your Apple account or your Google account or something. So it tries to reset up a new account completely. And you're like, just let me out. Just let me out. Okay, I would love to show you Timo, but I don't know what my password is. And I don't feel like changing it right now. But we're just going to go to Claude. Let's just see what this guy's got to say. Claudia, rather. So sorry. Happy International Women's Day to all of my homies. Oh my gosh, I never posted. Women's Day. I need to post that right after this. I'm so late. Anyways. Cricket path there. My coworker Bridget has a cricket. The nice thing is I'm working from home more often now, so like I can rely more on like the walls I have at my disposal. So I think I'm gonna do that. My living room already, and this is hilarious, but like you're getting an inside scoop of my house. But like I've got 2 desks, and so like basically my living room is just a little tech office anyway. We're still green. Okay, let me focus. Oh my gosh, I haven't even taken my meds. Side note, a little infrastructure change to Officers Lamber is in past weeks, what I've recognized is that I'll yap for like 30 minutes and then I won't actually get started on the week's task until like minute 40, like we're seeing today. It's 35 minutes in and I haven't started. So what I've told myself is at the time of actually starting the task, I'm going to give myself an hour to really explore it, because what I found is in previous weeks, I leave Officers Lamber feeling like empty, like I didn't accomplish anything. So yeah, I'm going to be on for another full hour, which I'm going to set my timer, which one of my favorite ADHD things is the timer. We're going to put the sound on. She's good. All good. Here we go. Side note, also, format-wise, is I'm going to be each Monday, following Monday, I'm going to be giving status updates, and I'm going to give myself the goal of completing the last week's task by the next Monday, or at least like trying to get very close to it, because I similarly at the beginning of this thought I was going to be making more progress, and I am making progress. It's just very, 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 very slow. So slow. And so that's where I've got some plans. I'm continuously improving. Okay. Hour on the clock. Let's do it. Oops. Okay. I'd like you to search the internet or whatever you do to find some solutions to this problem. All right. Let's see what Claude's got on its mind. Task apps. I've tried. I have one, but it's broken down. Yep. Cricket. There's side note about crickets. I was at Herbie Lurby. No, I was at Michael's. I was at one of those. I if you're looking for a side quest, I want to eventually create merchandise. And what I want, because it's so expensive to get pre-made merchandise, so I want to learn how to use a Cricut to be able to screen print on a logo or words or something silly onto a shirt. But I also like, then it gets into the situation of like managing like colors and sizes and stuff. And so I'm on the hunt because I want to be able to do it, but I also don't want to sell stupid things. I know there are too many side quests, but it's in the good idea backlog, so it's not sitting on my brain. But I do have a mini heat press, like the little mini iron that they have for Cricut. But I digress. Okay, what matters to you in a test system? They're all equally important. I don't care about the streaks, actually. How do you feel about paying for a tool? I would prefer to bundle. Cricut is new from Christmas. Still learning because I don't want to pay for the subscription. Yeah. Feel that. Because a lot of the apps, so like with Google, they fit with, like Google works with every single app ever. I don't want to use Google. TickTick Premium is likely your best fit. To-do list is a close second. Flexible scheduling, delish. Make changes into the calendar and it updates across your task list without delays. Cool. Connects to Airtable and Outlook through if this then that. I fucking hate using things like Zapier, Make, and if this then that for like no reason. And maybe that's the back end of all of these applications that I just don't know about, but that shit just gets me. I don't want to use IFTTT or Zapier. Are there any apps that don't need to work directly with? Because Airtable's a stretch. I know why like most of them wouldn't work with Airtable anyway. I want anyways, I'm good. Turn emails into tasks would be nice. I don't need any of the, well, let's see what TickTick is. Ooh, it's already got the Eisenhower in there. Nice. I like the voice edition. I do like that you can take, like, it seems like you can just look at it as a list and not like a grid all the time. Hmm. Okay, now let's say Todoist. Looks very similar. And that's the other thing is all of these look so similar that I like start to get kind of weirded out. Like vibe coding is so rampant. It's like maybe this seems like a very vibe codable easy thing, but it sucks when they all just kind of look like they have the same font, logo, colors, and everything. It just starts to, it's like, when all of the housing development in the early 2000, like mid 2000s, like we went from like the brown Italian kitchen, like rustic Italian kitchen to like slate gray, millennial gray. Um, in the tech world, it all feels like we went from all of the Internet Explorer and like legacy system homegrown softwares that all look like SAP and scary to everything looks like the same, like, oops, Like this all has the same font and vibe as it's like everyone took what Apple did with their font and vibe and just copy pasted. I don't know. And I shouldn't be judging a book by its cover because if it works, it works. I don't know. It just, when I start, it's the same way I feel when I see people using like Calibri and now Aptos Display. I do like Aptos Display, but use people that send documents with Calibri, it's like, did you care enough at all? Do you have like any sort of taste? And there's some people that don't care about that at all. But I recognize that like if you don't care about the font that's on the page, that means maybe it means nothing. Maybe it means nothing. Maybe it means nothing. The other thing is that all of these have like, let's see. Tick, tick, verse. It's all, the nice thing is like 20 to 60 bucks a year, especially if you're using it all the time. Not bad. I'm not mad at that. I'm mad about that. It's just everything feels, there's just so many subscriptions that to try a lot of these also, you have to like get this, like there's like the free trial for whatever. And like as an ADHD woman, when you sign up for a free trial, you must delete it immediately. Otherwise, and then like, okay, so actually the real hack is delete it immediately. Right after you like put your subscription in to be able to get the free trial, unsubscribe immediately. And then if you want to, at the end of the 7-day trial, you'll be like, oh, did you want to keep your thing? It's like, yes, now I do. And I'm taking my watch off because I keep getting texts and I cannot be bothered right now. Okay, we're fine. I do think there is a situation where Microsoft To Do might actually be the answer. And who knows what's lurking in here. The problem is sometimes I think I'm just, yeah, not very good at using it realistically. And I know with Power Automate, you can really mess around with it and like put some like recurring stuff. Ooh. And I do like that you can put it on the top where, like over stuff, so it's just always there. And I do also like that you can flag emails. And I think if you flag things in, let's see. Let's see. I think if you flag things in OneNote, it'll go through as well. Also, I have not used this in so long, so if you see anything, you could be sure. Flagged emails. Planned. Hmm. I do think the task section of the other cool thing is that in Outlook itself, you can have in Outlook itself, there's like the to-do section of it. I'm gonna keep toggling because I don't know what lurks in here, so I'm trying to like, if there's like client projects, I have to be wary. Where are my tasks? Because I'm already pretty good at like marking, like flagging Outlook emails as like to-dos, but I only use it in my inbox for that list. Mm. Okay, 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 okay. Big news, big news, big news. Okay. Um, so it did flow through. So if I mark an action, oops, if I mark an action from OneNote, it will do that. And like if I mark it there, I wonder how long it takes to mark it here. Or if it will. We couldn't find this. You can only edit tasks. Okay, so that's pretty immediate. So once it's completed, it won't it's not a task anymore. Okay, I kind of like that. Is this going to be the resurgence of Microsoft To Do? Let's see what the phone app looks like. Let's relax. Because maybe that's all it needs because I already use and like I think I was trying to look for an answer of like how to get Microsoft Calendar to like flow in, but maybe like that's the point is that I just need maybe it was under my nose all along. I think the only thing I don't like is that I can't see both of my emails to-do lists at the same time. That's what it was. That's what it was. Maybe that's good though. Maybe that's good. I don't know. Microsoft To Do. Let me see what it looks like in my phone. I did used to like Microsoft Planner but like Teams is just so slow on my computer. Even like my souped up computer. Like she has been until you have a humongous team, Teams just if you have to do anything with external clients, I just okay. Let's see what the to-do looks like in my phone. It is kind of nice. I wonder if there's views. And I'm sorry, this is wildly boring because you can't see my phone. I think that might be maybe what I need to do is I need to sync my Peachy Profitability at Outlook.com to be a third so I can manage all of my like personal habit tracking on that one. But I do like the like it looks very similar to what it does online. It doesn't have all the different views, but I think the problem with that is that it doesn't actually hit my novelty receptors in my brain where I'm like, nah. Upset with myself. Okay, now without Outlook or Airtable, what apps for ADHD would you recommend? The other one is there's this thing called X-Tiles, that our girl on YouTube, I'm gonna look her up. This girl, How to ADHD. I love her. She has this video she just did on Maybe it just came across my feed. There we go.
If you
Okay,
struggle with focus, this
relax. Okay, the video I'm referencing is this one. The nice thing is one of them I liked, or I use Opal already. So that gave me a little bit of, not that I didn't believe her, but
5 productivity tools that actually work for my ADHD brain. No, seriously, I'm obsessed with these.
the mind mapping, I don't think, I like using Canva for whiteboarding and mind mapping, so that's not a big deal. X-Tiles. So it looks similar to Notion, but I Googled it earlier and apparently Notion like is similar, but this X-Tiles is just like much less much less confusing up front, and it's got checklists and calendars and tables and stuff. And I think what I would lack with the Microsoft To Do is that it's just lists. Whereas there's so many different times that you have to be able to like put this task on the calendar or do this. So I'm gonna go mess around in X-Tiles for a little sec. Let's see, templates. ADHD. Let's just focus on one chicken at a time. I think the tough part about knowing so much about Excel is knowing that I could rebuild this in Excel for freezies and have more autonomy in the way things work, but it's just not quite as pretty until I make it pretty. But let's see. I like monthly sprints and I like weekly focuses. So maybe. Oh, Bento Seepin. He's so cute. One sec. Oh, the littlest prince. He has had a busy day barking at every single thing that could possibly be barked at because I had the windows open because it's 70 degrees in Michigan. So I was like, oh, what a beautiful day. He is spent. Oh, wait, look how cute that is. I wonder if that's a real calculator. Okay, I kind of like this one. Wait, can I star this? Can I star you? Star? Okay, cool. ADHD weekly page. Okay. I'm not, here's the thing. I'm not, oh, you can't even see what I'm doing. I'm not afraid of spending money on a subscription that I know I'm going to use monthly. But in the exploratory phase, it's a little tough to like sign up for these things. Like you can always see in my bank accounts when I'm like trying out new softwares. because it's just a disaster. I love everything with a free trial, but especially if it doesn't have a free trial. Well, and that's the thing about this is like it has the free trial, but like kind of not really. Like you can, it's just like hiding features from you. So then I'm like, I don't even know if I'd want those features because I can't use them yet. Whatever. Night, Mom. Thank you for coming. Client portal. That's interesting. Oh. Oh, that's kind of cool. I think you can have like this section and like all of the different pages of that section. Okay, maybe. I do like that there's templates of the whole thing and then also just pages. I don't like that you have to see every day though, like that. Like I want like a fresh slate each day where it like hides the previous day's nonsense. Like every day is a fresh day. They don't care what happened yesterday. It's just like you have the data there if you want to go back and look. But like that's what I don't like. Similarly, like making an Excel sheet and then making maybe okay. I'm gonna backpedal. I think one thing is what I'm imagining, or because so much of my like digital life has been like not being, how did I even describe this? If you were to print a piece of paper every day and write everything out every day, in totality, that's 365 pages. There are, like in the early 2000s, there were giant companies printing off like 40-page reports, 20 of those for every executive to read and then throw away immediately. So I have to look at my own paper usage is like, okay, me using a daily sheet isn't going to end the world. Similarly, because my Excel etiquette and my Excel hygiene and my digital hygiene is so allergic to having it's like so allergic to having individual pages for everything. I just like thinking of having a template of like all of my daily habits and routines and stuff and then duplicating it and then filling it out each day like horrifies me. And so similarly, I don't know. There's something that's itchy in my, like all of these just have their own little scratch that I'm just like, ugh, I don't know. It's hard to describe. I think you can feel in my words how the perfectionist bullshit is just trying to make its way to the center. It's so bad. I do like all of these basic, like the SWOT, like all of the, okay, I do kind of like these. Okay. I'm open to being wrong. I think X-Tiles might be a vibe. I wonder if this connects to the calendar though. Does X-Tiles connect to Outlook calendar? Please say yes. Please say yes. Yes. Nice. Two-way synchronization. Okay. Okay. Cool. Okay, let me see what other things she had in here. I'm excited about X-Tiles. I think the other thing about these applications is you have to take some time to really set them up to like really want to be in them. So if you set it up half-assed, you're not going to want to use it. And so I do believe I'm excited about this. Because it's kind you know what this is. In like Sims, like if you ever played that game, like I had more fun building my characters and their outfits and their personalities and their houses. And then once it got to like playing the game, I was like, I'm good. Thank you. Like, I think this is the equivalent of me building my Sims house, like where all my tasks are going to live. And then each day it's like, yeah, going through the motions of like, I'll do this, which it's going to, I think I have good vibes about X Tiles because it's hitting a lot of my different need areas. Like, especially because I think Airtable is really good at like having a lot of professional use cases. But the personal use cases I think are like sometimes good, but it's all for like marketing, content calendar, AI generation, blah. And I'm like, it just doesn't quite hit the mark. But yeah, so yeah, my brain is so like you're watching the physical manifestation of my perfectionism fighting my like my thinker and my doer are just fighting in my head right now. Yup, it is so much more fun to be the planner. Emily, you guys are completely right. I just want my business to make enough money that I can find a doer, like someone who loves executing, that I can be like we yin yang. I need to find the yin to my yang because I can get projects. Like my favorite part is like solving the problem and setting it up and then them documenting and like running with it, But the actual execution, oh, it's horrible. Okay. I want to hear what she says about this real
Gets
quick.
less overwhelming. You can easily resize the boxes. You can move them around. You can move them to a whole new tab. You can turn brain dumps into task lists. And here's where it gets really cool. You don't have to go hunting for them later. Any tasks you've created show up automatically.
That's huge because I don't want to have, you already heard. That's huge.
In one panel in X Tiles, and you can easily pull them up later on your phone. You can even sync with Google Calendar so you can see your deadlines for tasks alongside your events. There's a lot of apps that I've used to like kind of take everything that's in my head or all the everything that's coming at me and like put it somewhere. But I feel like X Tiles goes one step further and it helps me transform that chaos. It's a chaos transformer. It doesn't feel like I have to use it in a certain way to be doing it right. I find it really helpful to just be.
The other thing is so I did kind of mess around, spoiler alert, with X Tiles the other day. What I think is really cool is that you can do this thing, like if we were on Google, if I right click on this, I can say save to X Tiles and I can change that into a task. So I could be like, ooh, I want to like look into like research, blah, later. Or if I want to say like this and then save to X Tiles and then like a note or a project. Okay, Emily, thank you for coming. Bye. I like this idea of us. You can screen. Oh my God. Okay, wait. X Tiles is it? Clip a bookmark, write text. Whoa. What? Wait a minute. The plugin, what? Huh? Wait a minute. Wait, let's wait. How to create a client portal where you can accept payment. Let's just something random. And then let's say, let's like go to like a specific website. And then X Tiles and then create project. Let's just see what it does. Let's just see what it does. Whoa. What? I th- I'm astonished, I think. How can I edit you? What is this? What do I do with you? Maybe to use that Pomodoro timer inside of it. Uh-oh. I'm in love, I think. Oh my God. This might be it. Ooh. Okay, well, we found our answer, and I am. There's sub projects. Oh my gosh. Wait a minute. Like inside of my planner, which has schedule, tasks, links, notes, day. Oh wow. Oh wow. Wait. Oh, this is really wonderful. And then all my sub projects can. Wait a minute. I I think I'm astonished. You can change the color of it. I mean, I know that's not a big deal, but it kind of is. Wait a minute. It's a bullet journal. Oh my gosh. And then I could make templates. So, okay, well, okay, actually, I have an idea. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is later this week, I'm going to do a click around and find out episode on this. Magnifique. Because that'll give me enough time to clean up my calendar so that it just shows busy. It doesn't show like specific details. Or maybe there's like a toggle for that or something. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna schedule a click around and find out where I'm gonna do like a long session of me just doing this, but the biggest of shout outs to How to ADHD, because this is probably similar to Notion, and I'm sure Notion, but like she said, it's like it seems like it's harder to just mess it up. Like a lot more user friendly. Okay. Well, I found my new hyperfixation. So exciting. Thank you guys for coming. I've got like 7 million projects to do between now and tomorrow morning. But I'm really excited about X-Tiles. So more to come there. Okay. Anyways, I don't know when this is going to cut off, but I appreciate you guys tuning in and watching me cry, but we're better. We're doing better.